Hello! I'm the first chapter. How are you guys doing today? We're filming in a different area today because why not? I have no real reason. But do I really need a reason to film in a different area? I don't even know if you guys can see me properly from down there. So it could have just been me talking to no one. So that would have been funny. Do you like this new setup? I don't know. The lighting's a bit weird, so who knows if we're gonna keep this. Who knows if this video is gonna see the light of day. Let's just get right into it. I haven't reviewed a book in a hot minute. I've only reviewed 2 books on this channel. What? Seeing how I've only reviewed 2 books, I want to start reviewing more books on this channel. So that is what we're doing today. I'm getting more practice, so here we go. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Is that how you say your name? Stephanie Garber? I hope that's how you say your name. I truly do apologize, Stephanie, if I said your last name wrong. First things first, let me just explain to you guys what the basic idea of this book. There's this event every single year or so called Caraval, and Master Legend is the guy that's in charge of this little event. There's these 2 sisters called Scarlett and Tella Drogna, and they get tickets to attend Caraval. And Tella ends up going missing when they arrive there, and Scarlett has to find Tella, and Tella ends up being a part of Caraval in some way. And the prize for this year's Caraval is a wish. That sounds awesome! Like, the idea of this is just amazing. Me personally, I think this book took many chances, and it just failed to follow through with those chances. As you can probably tell, I wasn't a huge fan of this book. It was very bland for my tastes, and I just didn't overly like it because, for one, the characters I didn't like, and 2, the plot lacked in a lot of areas, and 3, actually understanding how things worked in this world was very confusing, and it just didn't explain itself that well. Also, I should probably say this is gonna be a spoiler-free review, so if you haven't read this book, you ain't got nothing to worry about. First things first, let me talk about the characters. We'll start off with Scarlett, because she was my least favorite character in this book. I did not like Scarlett at all. So, basically, Scarlett is this girl who is very driven to find her sister like a sister should. That's very nice. And she says that she has this bond with her sister Tella, but we never really see that bond at all in this book. Like, we never really see her having this huge, massive bond that she apparently has with her sister Tella. Now, like I said, I don't really want to spoil anything, but from what we see of Tella, we never see that bond really at all. I guess another thing that I really dislike about Scarlett is her main focus was trying to find her sister, but that really wasn't her main focus. Like, she was such a helpless romance, it was pathetic almost how much she thought about romance and what she was doing to make sure she didn't seem romantic, or was she being romantic when she wasn't meaning to be romantic. Like, the whole thing was stupid. Like, if you really cared about finding your sister, you wouldn't be worried about being romantic with someone else. So that part really frustrated me as well. And also, it seemed like Scarlett could not make a right decision at all in this book. She could not do anything right. We're done talking about characters right now because they're frustrating as let's talk about plot. Now, the plot of this book is awesome. Like, yeah, free wish, that sounds cool. The magic system in this book does not make any sense at all, and if you've read the book, you might understand what I'm talking about. And with this magic system, this amazing magic system of Caraval, the stakes were up to here when I was reading it, but then once I figured out how some of the magic worked, which even when I was supposedly figuring out how the magic worked, it was still confusing and, like, frustrating. The stakes went down all the way to the ground and started digging a hole because there was no stakes left at all. And I ain't talking about those juicy steaks you can eat. Nuh-uh. I wish I was, but nope. Let's talk about world building for a second in this book, okay? You hear that? It's nothing, because there was none. There was no world building in this book. The world was confusing. Like, it seemed like anything could happen for any reason, and when you wanted something to happen for Scarlett, it just wouldn't happen because it was Scarlett. That personally made me really upset. Like, I tried my darndest to understand how the world worked in this book. We never do end up learning how the world works because it was never explained. It's actually probably a good point to add that I listened to the audiobook, so maybe reading the physical book is better. I don't know, but the audiobook sucked. Maybe reading the actual physical book helped in some ways with the actual reading experience. From my own personal experience with the audiobook, it was just not really enjoyable. Actually, I wrote down a few notes, and I want to get to them. And maybe I'm going to reference my Goodreads a bit, because I wrote a Goodreads review for it. Actually, I do want to bring something up. This book does have many creative ideas, and the world was fantastic, but I was left confused at some moments because the rules of the world were not explained in depth, and it seemed like anything could happen, which led me to not really be invested in the characters. Scarlet, she would say really weird things like this: "It smelled like the middle of the night," or "He tasted like midnight and winds of shades of rich brown and light blue." Like, it was trying to be poetic when it did not need to be poetic at all. It tried so hard to be this poetic piece when it wasn't. Like, what is the taste of midnight? Please explain that to me. I don't understand what that means. So in the end, they really built it up. The stakes felt so high, but there was no satisfying conclusion. And if you've ever listened to like an electronic song, this is the best way I can describe this book. It's like the bass is building and building and building and building and building, ready for that awesome drop, but then nothing happens. It's just building, suspense, 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 and no payoff. That's what really wrecked this book, in my opinion. There was no aha moment in this. It was more like wait, what just happened? What? What? The book ended in such a way that they were going to lead into a second book, which is great. I mean, kudos for Stephanie Garber for trying to make this more of a one-book story. I might listen to the next audiobook just to see where the story goes, but I honestly can't see myself enjoying the story unless the second book is immensely better than the first. It just wasn't that great. Which is such a shame, because I was really looking forward to this book. It sounded like it would be amazing, and this book truly did have so much potential. If you guys have read this book, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I know it has been getting mixed reviews. I know some people really, really love this book, which is great. I'm happy for the people that could enjoy this book, but for me, it just didn't work out. I rated this book 2 stars out of 5 stars on Goodreads, just so you guys know. I would just like to say quickly before this video ends, everything that I said in this video is just my own opinion, and you do not have to agree with those opinions. And if you do disagree with those opinions, then we can have a healthy conversation in the comments down below. Did you guys like Caraval, or did you dislike it? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. And would you guys like to see more book reviews from me, because I'm thinking of doing some more here. Let me know all of that down in the description. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, what do you guys think? Should this be my regular reviewing station area place thing? I don't know. The lighting's a bit weird because it's a cloudy day, but who knows? I don't know. Okay, I will see you guys soon in another one of my videos. Goodbye! That did not work out well. Bye!